All right, guys, we're back here at our Laurel Mall location. You're watching The Girls, and I'm with my mom, and this is really our season finale of another season. It flew by so quickly.
It did. It's great to have a season under our belt, but I'll tell you what, I've had a great time this season. I'm looking forward to our summer excursions.
Yeah, we'll have some specials.
Yeah, we will, and I'm looking forward to being with the kids. So speaking of kids, we have a little game that someone suggested we play.
Well, I talked about this on Facebook, and some things that our viewers like. We figured, well, we'll do this. This was a popular game. It's called Bean Boozled. All the kids, have tried this game, and really what it is they give you flavors in here. Now, we love jelly beans, and we talked about that on next week's show, I believe, or a show that came up, I should say. And you love the cherry.
Yeah, well, jelly beans in my vocabulary are actually, it's a bean, so it's a vegetable.
Oh, there we go.
And so I like the red ones.
I like that.
And
the tomato ones.
Usually I just pick out the red ones. And we were at a great candy store and we found this game. We thought, oh, great, because are they Jelly Bellies?
This is so funny because it says dare to compare. So there's all different flavors, and we're going to spin the wheel.
What's the dare?
Spoiled milk, coconut, dead fish, that's new, rotten egg, barf, booger, lawn clippings, moldy cheese, canned dog food, berry blue, that sounds good, toothpaste, I wouldn't mind, lime, and yada, yada, yada. So what you do is you spin the wheel, and then you have to, I guess there's two of each color, and then you have to see which one you get. So we got...
You got...
Oh, okay, we're doing these. I got stinky socks, tutti frutti. So I guess you pick out the ones that look like stinky socks. So you pick out all the ones that are freckled, pink.
Oh, they're cute though. Well, nice pink color.
I'm used to the stinky socks because I do have a son and his room smells like stinky socks.
Yeah, how long does that stay there?
So let's pick out all of these.
Yeah,
and then
I
get to pick.
Get that one. That might be the sticky one.
That's orange.
Okay, I can't see.
So it's either going to be stinky socks or it's going to be tutti frutti.
Well, be my guess.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, pick this one.
Now, do I have to eat the same one? Oh, come on, pop it in.
Oh! Ew, it smells like it.
Oh, it smells like mold, like fungus feet.
This is a fun game.
It smells just like fungus feet.
You know what you need? You need something, a spitter
I'm
next
doing
to
my
you.
own.
All right, do your own.
I don't want to do that one.
Oh, it's gross.
And I could already, how the heck do you spin
I'll be
it?
back. Spin that.
How about me? All right, now what is this? This one is berry blue. Okay, so I have to pick out all the blue ones. Easy peasy. How about there's no blue ones in here? Okay, here's one blue one and one more blue one. Uh-oh, so I have a 50-50 chance. Here's another one. All right. Here we go, Janine. I picked out berry blue or whatever. What's the other one going to be?
So berry blue is either toothpaste or berry blue.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating.
No, guess what? They all smell like yours. That fungus feet thing must have taken over everything. All right, here I
go. You want to gag. You got a good
like
one.
Toothpaste.
Oh, it tastes
delicious.
Anyway, so we didn't get the barf one. I refused to try that because some people said they've tried them and they actually vomited. No, I'm
Cleanse
good.
your mouth?
I'm full.
It's either berry blue or toothpaste.
So anyway, so that was exciting. Well, we have an exciting guest today. We have Logan Alucci with us.
Well, wait, I was going to go on with the blue.
Oh, go ahead.
Blue.
You're going to eat them all.
Yeah, no, I was going to tell you. Our guest today, blue, there was a reason for the blue. We have the beautiful flowers from Smilax.
Oh, okay.
There's no real blue flowers, but she did put some purplish blue status in there because blue is
I'm gagging.
Blue is for anti-anxiety, so maybe you should calm down and have one of these blue ones. Calms you down, calms you down. Color means everything.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what were you saying?
I'm telling you about the blue colors and what all colors mean.
All right.
So I wore blue today, so I would bring calmness to the set.
Oh, all right. So Logan is with us, and she's from Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. And we talked a lot this season about, women issues, women, breaking those glass ceilings. This is more about cyberbullying and how children can learn how to use the internet the right way, what they should do if they're being bullied, especially online, because that's the most popular form of bullying now, because it's something you really can't get away with, because kids are behind their computers, behind their phones, behind their tablets, and they're typing and messaging whatever they want.
Yeah, that's sort of like the chicken way, because people used to, we were all teased as kids. So if you do it face to face, you really have to face the music, as they say. But when they're on their computers, it seems like they get this added sense of security that the person who's doing it, they just feel more powerful because no one's looking at them directly. And sometimes they type in and send messages out there that are very, very, very hurtful.
Right.
And, you know, because they don't have to face it right at that moment, but they don't realize how many people they're affecting, not only the person they're saying it about, but of course they're going to affect themselves later because it will catch up to them. You know,
All right.
really well.
So Logan's on the show. We're going to talk about her Kind campaign that she's a part of. That's super cool. And if you have Instagram, you definitely want to check her out. It's I believe it's Logan Alucci or Lo Alucci. We'll get her exact Instagram page for you. But this is the finale. We thought we'd have a local girl on here and talk about what she struggled with, anxiety. She'll talk about that cyberbullying and then the Kind campaign.
All righty. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the girls. If you missed our first segment, we were getting over tasting these bamboozled jelly beans, Janine.
Yes.
Yours was kind of nasty, huh?
Nasty.
But we have a great guest with us today, and she stood by laughing. I guess, Logan, we entertained you there for a couple minutes
She'll
and got you nice
later
and relaxed.
when I make her do the jelly beans, the stinky
I
ones.
don't think so.
Well, our guest is Logan Alucci, and she is a graduate student now. You're graduating, and you're going on to a beautiful career, and you are here to tell us all about some of your life experience that you had and a great campaign that you've started.
So first of all, thanks for coming on, the girls.
Thank you for having me.
I know your parents for a very long time, and I follow you on Instagram, and I love the message that you send, and I think that more young people could be following what you're doing. You're a great role model for our younger generations. This all started, and I remember our newsroom doing a story on you when you did your senior project. So in high school, at least in northeastern Pennsylvania, the seniors have to do what's called a senior project. So start us off by talking about that.
Yeah, so the senior project, really most people just do volunteering, and I kind of didn't want to do just volunteering. I wanted to do something different, and my father is a graphic designer, which you know, and so I made the senior project with him, and it's just a huge mural in the front entranceway of the Hazleton High School, and I made that, and then there was like a lot of outreach after that. A lot of people really liked it, more people than I expected, and I got
What was on the mural?
So the mural, it's like two figures, and one of them is like down and the other one is up, reaching to help the other one up. And there's, I think, I made it 5 years ago, I think. There's something like 15 different quotes on it from a bunch of inspiring people to me. And then it says things like equality, hope, acceptance, tolerance, like stuff like that. And it's still in the front entranceway today.
So what happened? Did some of the students interact with you afterward? Did they see a different side of you? What happened from all of that?
Actually, there was someone that I was just talking about the other day, and I had never really spoken to him, and he reached out to me privately after I made the project, and he actually said that he had been feeling like extremely depressed, and it just so happened that like on one of his worst days, that was the day that I like unveiled the project, that it was seen, because I put it up the night before at like midnight with my dad. And he just basically told me how much it meant to him, because even though I wasn't directly making it for him, it felt like I was, and it felt like kind of a message of hope for him, and that kind of really made it worth it for me.
And that really kicked off a lot of things for you, because
Yeah.
your senior project, you realized how many people were either, suffering from anxiety, loneliness, depression, just needed someone to be there. Maybe they were, bullied in school.
Yeah.
So take us from that project, your senior project, through graduating high school and then starting college, because you moved away for college.
Yeah, so pretty much I made the project. There was a really amazing like I said, an amazing outcome. A lot of people were really affected by it. And then the day before my senior prom, actually, I went to Pittsburgh and I received the Human and Civil Rights Award by, it was from the Pennsylvania State Education Association. And then I came back at 3 in the morning the day of prom. And so that was really amazing, and that kind of made me realize like that I wanted to continue doing work like that. So I went to school not really knowing what I wanted to major in, but I knew I wanted to live in New York City. So I went to Pace University in New York, and I kind of continued with that kind of work. I mean, it wasn't my major, but I just always thought that social media is growing so much, so making a campaign on social media could be a huge thing. And while it's not huge, I have seen a lot of impact from it, and I've seen a lot of my friends follow that example. So,
What was life like for you, a new kid out of high school, moving to New York City? I mean, where did you live?
So I lived in a dorm with a few hundred other people, and it was crazy. I mean, I had never used a communal bathroom before. I had never lived in a room the size of a box. It was a huge wake-up call for me, and it was also different because I didn't have any friends or family in New York when I moved there. And like, to be honest with you, I didn't really like it as much as I thought I would. I did at first, and then that whole facade of New York kind of wore off, and you realize how expensive it is and how much there really is that's different than your hometown. And also, I'm very close to my family, and none of them were there, so it just was very different than I anticipated it to be.
So did you stay there, or did you come back and forth on weekends? Did you try and get home? Were there other people from our area there? Did you know anyone?
No, I did not know anybody. I lived there for 3.5 years, I guess. I came back, sophomore year is when my anxiety got really bad, and living there was pretty hard for me, and I really didn't want to do it anymore, but I also didn't want to give up and leave because I had invested so much of myself into being there. And so I started coming home pretty much every weekend, that like my second semester sophomore year, and then senior year I moved home.
Talk about that. So the anxiety, because I believe a lot of people watching could relate to this, and when they're going through that process of, I want to move away from home, I want to go to school, in a big city, and I'm not saying it could be for some people, it's not for everyone.
Of course, yeah.
But you had that anxiety. So how did the anxiety, start, and then how did you know that you really needed to reach out to someone? And you're close with your family, so you're able to do that.
Yeah. The best way to explain it to people who don't suffer with anxiety is basically you're telling yourself to calm down and that there's really nothing that wrong. Like, nothing as bad is going to happen to me. You're worried about nothing. And then your brain is literally telling you, no, there is something to worry about. Or like you get something done at school and you get a 95 on it, but your brain's like, you could have got 100. Like, you are constantly battling against yourself. So that's hard enough for anybody. Life is hard enough for anybody. And then you put this on top of it, like your brain telling you not to believe in yourself. So it makes it really extra hard. And then when you're in a place like New York and there is so much competition and money is everything and looks are everything, it's so hard for everybody. And then when you have a mental illness on top of it, it's really difficult. And I, like you said, I'm close to my family. I am lucky enough that I was able to call them. I can remember specifically when it happened, sophomore year. I was like, I know I tell you guys I'm fine, I'm not. And it was hard. I told them I needed help. But I feel for the people who don't have that, because people always say if you're suffering, get help. Not everyone has parents that they're close to, not everyone has friends.
And not everyone can realize that it is a problem. Sometimes you're so involved in that inner voice telling you to do that you might think that that's okay because everybody's, might be striving the same way. You may not reach out to anyone at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there living in a time where there were a lot of things going on in the world that were scary. It still is scary today with terrorist attacks.
Yeah, that had a huge impact. I mean, my school is in the financial district downtown, and my dorm freshman year, literally my window opens up and it feels like you could touch the Freedom Tower. That's how close it is.
And you do have a beautiful view.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. It really was. Like, there's ups and downs and everything, and that was beautiful, but it really is scary. And I started to feel like very trapped there. I'd be on the bus going back and feel sick with anxiety, and people say, like, just get over it and don't worry. It's just not that easy. And I wish everyone realized that and would just try to help people when they feel that way, because you already feel alone enough because you isolate yourself. And when other people like make you continue isolating yourself, it just ends up really bad.
How difficult was it for you to even attend classes? Were you able to concentrate on your classes? Did it affect your grades or any socialization with other people?
Yeah, honestly, it didn't affect my grades. I was able to maintain about a 3.8 GPA all 4 years, and I'm really proud of that. But it did impact me socially. Like, I can't even lie. I'm very honest about what I've gone through. And there were times where I wouldn't leave my dorm for like 6 days straight, but I didn't really miss class. Like, I would force myself out of that dorm and go to class and do whatever I had to do to get my work done. And then I would isolate for a whole weekend. Like, I just wouldn't leave. Unless I was going home, I wouldn't leave.
Now, you had all these problems going on, but again, you didn't project that on your social media. You didn't project that, you know, in an environment that would be a negative environment. And that's what we're going to talk about next, because you might be going through some personal things. You might be going through a mental health issue, but there are ways that you can handle it. We're going to talk about the KIND campaign when we come back with Logan Alucci, our guest from Schuylkill County. She's graduating from college. I can't believe it. I knew you were when you were this big.
I know.
And she's our guest today. We're going to talk about cyberbullying as well.
Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We're at our Laurel Mall location in Hazleton. You're watching The Girls, and we're back here with Logan Alucci. She's from Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. We're talking about all kinds of things: anxiety, dealing with moving away for college, handling cyberbullying, and you know, I reached out to Logan because I saw her on her Instagram, and she had a really good following, and she had a great message. She does a lot of social media campaigns that are a positive approach to handling mental illness, such as anxiety. So we'll pick up where we left off.
Yeah, well, right before we went to break, we were talking about how you were attending school in New York City, how your anxiety level had reached pretty much an all-time high. You reached out to your parents as well, but you developed a program while you were there. So why don't you share with us what that program is?
Yeah, my sophomore year, I ended up meeting, I think it was actually for the first time because my school is so big. I met my dean of students. Her name is Mary Jo, and I met her, and it was about something completely different, actually. But then she kind of decided that she wanted to start something on campus about sexual assault and the climate of rape and those kind of things on campus, because it's obviously a very serious matter.
It is.
So she just, I don't know why, I still don't really know why, but for some reason she thought of me to start it with her, and I had only met her once, so I was really surprised. But we came up with the idea of a group called PASA, which stands for Peer Advocates Against Sexual Assault. And we started that together with a few other students who I met at the school. And now it's about 12 students, and we actually hired full-time staff to help with the program. And it basically just gives a lot of information about sexual assault, and we do presentations to the freshmen and those kind of things. And we have a social media campaign going on as well. So
it allows for a student who may have experienced somewhere to go, somewhere to reach out to, as to know what to do, where to start, and at least someone to confide in.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of amazing things with going through anxiety, going away from school, and this is just a great message for those looking that are going away this summer for college for the first time, maybe, or maybe you have a change in your life and you feel alone and you feel like you can't reach out to someone. Look at all the amazing things you're doing.
Thank you.
You really are. Just reading through some of your Instagram, which is LO for Logan Alucci, and you could definitely reach out to Logan through here. I'm reading some of your quotes. If the world is cold, make it your business to build fires. And that's the quote that you have underneath your name. Is that a meaningful quote to you?
Yeah, I actually just saw that recently, but I like it because the way I see it, I say this all the time, like a broken record probably, but I just think that life is really hard for everybody, and maybe not all the time, but it does get really hard. And I kind of just think seeing the negative in everything is the easier way to go. It is, honestly. It's easy to say, like, everybody's mean and no one wants to help me. And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes people don't have people to help them, and I totally understand that and I feel for them. But I do think that if you come across someone that's mean to you, or if you come across somebody that just doesn't treat you the way you'd like to be treated, then I personally take that as kind of like a sign to just be extra nice to different people and just kind of make it my obligation to.
It's a reminder. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know.
It's a reminder of how that person made you feel, so you would
Yeah,
never
you
want
don't ever
someone
wanna
else
make
to feel
someone
like
else feel
that.
like that.
Talk about the cyberbullying, because that is something that we're seeing more and more. Kind words cost nothing. You have this kind campaign that you didn't start, but you're actually the liaison for pretty much the East Coast.
Yeah, pretty much. So Kind Campaign was started by these two girls named Molly and Lauren, and it's California based in Los Angeles. And I heard about it about 2.5 years ago. And they do these assemblies. They actually spend pretty much half of their year going to different schools across the country and speaking about their campaign. And I've never actually met them in person. We just kind of coordinate through social media. But so I did an assembly at the McAdoo-Caleres Elementary School last year, and I spoke to about 75 7th grade or 6th grade girls. I don't really remember what grade. Yeah, 6th. So I spoke to them and I showed the Kind Campaign video, which you could find on their website. It's just kindcampaign.com. And I showed it, and at first the girls didn't really react too much. I was like, do you guys have any questions? Do you want to talk about something you've gone through? And they were like, I don't know, like I don't know what to say. So I went home and I was really upset because I was like, oh my God, they hated it. I was freaking out to my mom. And that night my brother had a basketball game at the school. So I went, and like this group of 13 girls came over to me and they were like, you helped so much. Everyone was apologizing to each other after your assembly. All these girls made up, like these two girls hated each other and they're friends again. And like, I don't think that would have happened if you didn't come here. And I just think that like makes so many things worthwhile, because even though you're suffering yourself, like I do every single day with anxiety, when you help other people, like it almost helps you forget, even if it's temporarily. But I think that the whole point of things like this is just to like want to be a better person.
So that's the message.
I
You
really
want to
think
send
that
that
is.
there before we
Yeah.
go. That's the message you'd like to leave with
I
everyone.
think just
And that's
be
the
as good
message
as you can be. Yeah.
that we like through our show is, you see shows across the country that portray that, that perfect image and like you don't have any flaws. And this show is about real. This is
Real.
Yeah. Did you see the clothing that I had in our Facebook Live? I had a fight with my washer and ruined my clothes in the washer. But that's life, and stuff happens. It's all how you handle what goes on in your life. And you're doing a good job at that, and you're really relaying the right message. So before we go, we got to mention you got an awesome job.
That's what I want to talk about.
Talk about that real quick.
Thank you. I got hired by Saks Fifth Avenue, and I'm going to be working for them, not in New York City, but locally. And
How amazing
I'm
is that,
excited.
though? How
Yeah,
close
it's
is it
amazing.
to home?
It's pretty close to home. It is pretty close, and I'm very fortunate. It was my first interview, and it went really well.
So you got the job you wanted, and you got the job outside of the city. It was
a blessing.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
So
Yeah, well, we've enjoyed having you on the show. We've enjoyed
Thank you.
all the messages that you have to send us.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to having people join us. Pick up your phone and download our app, because you can watch us
Yes.
anywhere on all your devices. You can watch the show. Tell all your friends about it, because I think this is a great message. Make sure that it spreads. And don't forget, be kind. Go tell somebody something nice about them. Okay? We'll see you next
All
time
right.
on The Girls.
Bye.